Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today on this, another Breaking Bitcoin Market Update, Tuesday, March 5th, 2019, foul year of our Lord. Thank you so much, guys. The suspense is killing me, and I just want to thank everybody who was willing to join us for this podcast version of the live stream. Now, as you know, we have been in a constant battle with the Illuminati lizard overlords who control the ISP that I am currently through. And thank you for all your concern. Thank you for all your questions, thoughts, opinions, and helpful suggestions. But unfortunately, no, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, going full barbarian and barging into the offices of my local ISP with a battle axe, we tried that. It was unsuccessful. They were able to repel us with their slingshots and bows and arrows. So, unfortunately, we are at a current mediation where we are trying to figure things out. So I spent the last pretty much hour on the phone with the ISP, trying everything, and it was very nice getting past the tier 1 tech. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? Yes, we've tried all that. Could you please get me to a tier 2, tier 3 tech? So anyways, we're looking at fixing some things out. Luckily, I have a really good, fantastic team around me. So they are actually looking at potentially upgrading us to a fiber cable so that we don't have these issues anymore. More updates on that soon. But again, thank you. If this turns into a podcast, hopefully the soothing sounds of my voice will guide you through the recent volatility in the cryptocurrency markets. But I just want to thank everybody for taking the time and joining me today. So we're going to talk about some exciting stuff today. We're going to do the Masternode giveaway. We're going to draw the winners for the competition that we've been doing, and we did promise that we are going to keep the giveaways going. We did invest in the Gleam software so that we continue to do that, but we're going to take a week, guys. We're going to take a week, just cool our engines, cool our jets, focus on cryptocurrency trading as we always do, focus on the group, focus on some updates and stuff that we've been doing in the background. And I think we're going to launch our next giveaway with our next supporter coin on Monday. So you can't defeat metaphysical beings with physical weapons, bro. I thought you'd know that. But we continue to try, man. We continue to try. First off, let me scroll through the chat and just give a big thank you because I know I missed a little bit, man. Jasper is yawning. Is it time? Cruz CIT says, sell. Tim A says, Justin, what's going on? Jurgen Ernst, good morning to you. Real Stoggeroach. Tutis, what's going on, guys? Tuda says, if you want, I can create a Telegram chat group that always says when I buy and sell. This would let you guys know when to do the opposite. You know, that's actually a really good metric that we have. Counter trend trading. There are certain individuals that just have the curse. There are just certain individuals that have the curse, man. Let's see here. Let me get through the rest of the chat. There's no catch with the Masternode giveaway, Stephen Hyatt. All you had to do was enter to win. We've been running it for 2 weeks, and it is closed. All right, great confirmation. Eli back, man. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. Thank you so much, my good friend. As always, you are one of the good ones, putting yourself firmly in that category. And as always, top donator. Oh, it's over there. It's this direction. Aha, yes, up there. Top direction. Top donator on the board. Thank you so much, man. I will gladly take a look at Engine Coin, man. Robert, as well, coming through with the $9.99. He says, just want to say thank you to you and your team. Those premium signals were on point as usual. Thank you so much, man. I highly appreciate that. Very glad to have you on the team, man. Very glad to have you in the group, and I'm happy that you're profiting from the signals and trade strategies. Although I do see here that you're probably not around anymore, so I apologize, man. Hopefully you can catch this on the go-to, and this is going to be a downloadable podcast, man. Your shirt is going crazy from the green screen overlay right now. I don't think it's going too crazy. I'm watching me right here. It's not too bad, man. Fox Trader, what's going on, man? Zoom Coco. Hello, dude. I have the shadow in my face, yes. But unfortunately, hopefully you guys don't tune in just to watch all of this. Hopefully you guys tune in to watch all of the charts. So we'll be getting to that here in just a second. But I just wanted to give a brief update, man. Okay, so let's get to the reason I'm sure you all tuned in today. As we begin, I just want to give a shout out. Unfortunately, I want to give a shout out to all my team members who have been helping us out through this last week. Give a shout out to everybody in the group. Shout out to all the supporters. Thank you, guys. Kind of at a loss for words on some of that stuff. I want to talk about some of the fun stuff coming up, but I know you guys are here for the charts and you guys are here for the giveaway, so we're going to get right into that. What do I need to mention before I go? Of course, the obligatory thing. If you guys want to trade along with us, if you guys want to get access to the premium signals and get access to all our trade signals and setups and strategies, links at the top of the description right there. Premium.krakencryptocurrency.com if you guys would like to trade along with us. All right, moving right along. Let's get into this overlay right here. And cool. All right. So as you guys can see, 3,067 total entries so far. So guys, thank you so much for making this a fun and awesome competition. Thank you so much for getting involved. And we are going to draw the winners right here live on the air. Now, I have tested this out. As you guys will recall, we goofed a little bit the last time we did this. So we're going to do this a little bit better, a little bit more professionally. I linked above under photo I sent you. Scott, I missed that, man. The morning owl. That's awesome, dude. Okay, cool. All right, now I've got my handy dandy notebook pulled up. All right. Cool. Everything is good to go. Happy to look at this. All right, so I actually have the admin login opened up in another window that you guys can't see, and this widget should update as soon as I click draw the winners. Okay, so we're going to do this right now, right here, guys. So 3,067 total entrants. Only 5 can win. There can only be 5, guys. So make sure that if you are one of the winners, that you reach out to us in the DM. I'm going to need you to send me an email at contact@crackingcryptocurrency.com with the email that you use to sign up with, or in somehow showing a screenshot of your social media account, just so we can verify that it's you. As soon as you do that, we will get your X42. We're going to need your X42 wallet address, and we will get the X42 sent out to you. Okay. That's how we're going to do this. So I'm going to click draw the winners, and the widget here on the main page should update. So again, all the fanfare. Can I get a drum roll, please? All right, let's do that. I need to get a soundboard. All right, clicking draw winners now, firing lasers. Let's see here. All right, winners to draw 5, no limit entries, ready to go. All right, warming the laser, and firing the laser. Drawing winners now. And we have 5 winners picked. So all I should have to do is refresh the page. I'm going to feel like a dum-dum if this doesn't work. Scott, it's not working as intended. It is not showing the winners in the widget. Did we click that option? Because it should be showing the winners right here. So I've got the 5 winners right here. I'm very happy to list them on the air, but I'd like to display them here fairly in the widget. So give me a second to DM Scott and see if we can't get this fixed. Oh, announce winners in widget. Okay. I just had to click the button. There was a button right there. Okay. There we go. Now, if we refresh the page. Aha! There we go. All right, cool. So there are the winners, guys. We have Bogdan Z, Edward Webb, Peanut Head, Anna B, and Jonathan K. So you guys should know who you are. The IDs are right there. So this is live, guys. So you can go to the website and see this. So x42.crackingcryptocurrency.com. This will be up on the air this will be still live on the website for a few days until we make sure that we get all the winners in and get them their proper rewards. So if you are one of these 5 individuals, congratulations to you guys. Thank you so much for helping participate in this, for helping promote X42. Make sure you guys go get yourself an X42 wallet address if you don't have one already. That's x42.tech. To download their latest wallet from the GitHub repo, it's right there. Make sure that you guys are always updating to the latest version of any wallets, of any coins that you guys are using. All right, so, hey, Edward Webb, you are a double winner, I do believe, man. So, let's see here. Lasers firing, Captain. I did fix it. Thank you so much, man. Wait for it. Congrats, man. Congratulations, guys. Thank you so much for participating. I got questions coming in. So, Crypto Slice of Life, and I think somebody asked earlier. So we do the giveaways. They're live on our website at crackingcryptocurrency.com. We're going to be doing our next one beginning Monday, I do believe. Scott does a lot of this work in the back end, helping set up the Gleam giveaways, getting everything ready, measuring what people need to do. And again, you don't need to register accounts. It doesn't cost anything. We have you if we're doing a coin that's supporting us or is a proud supporter of the show. Going and downloading their wallet, liking their Twitter, just simple stuff like that, guys. Liking their Facebook. All right, so that's all done. So with that being said, congratulations again to the winners, and let's get into some trading, guys. All right, so let's head over to coinfarm.online and look at the superiority of the longs to the shorts. Longs getting pretty aggressive at 55% to the long side. If we look at the past 24 hours, we see almost 100 million Excuse me, a little bit more than that, actually. 419 million coming into the buy side. Those are aggressive market orders, and this is showing the aggression of the marketplace. Generally, you guys know the old saying, the trend is your friend. You're generally looking to trade with the aggression of the market orders that are coming in. Because remember, without market orders, the market does not move. If everybody just put in a limit order, the market would not move one iota. You need market orders to actually move the price up and down. Market orders is what makes the candles go up and down. Just, making sure people understand that. Pretty significantly here, coming in around 8 o'clock my time. We had about 97 million to the buy side. So pretty significant order there just in a very short period of time. Last 30 minutes, we do have pretty much 50-50, honestly. Last 30 minutes, pretty much 50-50. So, but overall, you are generally looking to take this to the upside. Now, what do we see here? We have a very nice bullish movement from Bitcoin right here, and now just a little bit of sideways consolidation. I would expect to, in general, my bias would be to continuation of the upside at this point in time. All right. Let's go look at vcdepth.io, and we're going to look at the nearest 5% and just try to get an idea of what's going on here. So, all right. So vcdepth.io would not have given us a whole lot of information to be able to catch this. Although the rising interest is very good to see. When you do see rising open interest, when you do see with the number of limit buys and sells increasing in the order books, that is a bullish sign that you're going to see increased volatility and that you can actually take a trade. Because as traders, we need volatility and volume for a trade to be worth our while, right? There's no reason sitting and scraping around your computer, watching in despair and panic and peril for an hour, only to get a 50% move. Or excuse me, a half a percentile movement. It's just not worth it, guys. And honestly, coming from somebody who does this, for a living, I can tell you that in general, the way that I execute trades is that I have key areas on my chart that I have alerts set for. All right, these are horizontal supports. Critical levels of horizontal support and resistance, and I have alerts set for those areas so that when price comes into that area, I take a look at my technical indicators. I take a look at the general volume and volatility of the market. I take a look at the VC depth. I take a look at the market depth ratio, and I try to get an inkling of which way I think the market is likely to move. Coming into the vicinity of a critical area of support and resistance is a key factor for me to execute a trade. The volume needs to be correct, the volatility needs to be correct, and also my technical indicators need to show to me that there is a high likelihood that this trade is likely to proceed. So it's a very if this then that strategy that I have set up. If these conditions are met, I will execute a trade. If not, I let it pass me by because I don't really care if I miss a massive pump. I don't care if I miss a massive dump on a short. All I care about is taking consistent, profitable trades day in and day out, pursuant to my strategy that I can continue to do day in and day out. It doesn't really matter to me how one day goes. It doesn't really matter how 1 month goes. The only thing that matters to me at the end of a 12-month period is what is my equity curve at the end of the year. I can have a bad month. I can have bad 2 months. But all that matters in the long run is my equity higher than when I began at the beginning of the year? That's how you guys should be looking at this. Too many people are not focused on the long game, and too many people are focused on the short game, which is not going to be conducive to you being able to do this for a long period of time. If you come in with a very short time frame, if you come in really overly focused on the 15-minute or 30-minute chart, and that's not to say that you can't be profitable day trading and scalping that way. I do as well. I have multiple strategies set up for it. But in general, that stuff is mostly going to add to break even your account. The best trades, the biggest additions to your portfolio are going to occur on the higher time frames and taking the higher probability setups. All right. Yeah, congratulations, Edward. Fantastic, man. You are on a roll, dude. Let me take a little sip of the moonshine here. I got the wide mouth for today, guys. We're ready to do this. Okay. Anyways, looking at vcdepth.io. Oh, and I do want to point out something interesting. I do want to point out something interesting that somebody made a very good point on in the members group. That when you're looking at the market depth ratio, when you're looking at the entire order book, this is very easy to manipulate because it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost anything to really manipulate the market depth ratio by inserting very large limit buy orders or inserting very large limit sell orders on the order book to skew the market depth ratio. So in general, I would not be paying attention, and I do highly agree, I would not be paying attention to the entire market depth ratio. The only thing that I'm really concerned about is the nearest 5% of price, because to put your order within 5% of current price, you are running a very high risk of your order being executed. So Generally, people with deep pockets are not high-stakes gamblers. Some of them can be, but in general, they're not. So when you're looking at the nearest 5% of current price in the market depth ratio, this is going to give you a much better inkling to which way price is going to move. However, just looking at the MDR right here, the only positive sign that you had here was a significant increase starting at around 3 o'clock in the morning. You started to have a very significant rise in the MDR, but it did not exceed the number of limit sells on the order books. So pretty much you would not have been able, just in hindsight, to be able to get a good indication of which way to go based on this form of sentiment analysis. Let's take a closer look and look at the bid-ask sum as well. We'll go on BitMEX. And again, here you would have had a very clear inkling. So starting around, I would say starting around yesterday evening, you did see a significant increase in the number of limit buys coming into the market book. And whenever you see something like this, just traditionally the way to look at this is when the number of limit buys begins to exceed the number of limit sells on the order book, you begin to go long, or you look for. This is a sentiment backing. This is a fundamental analysis that lets you have a directional bias to your technical analysis. So if this is showing you that you should be looking for long setups, then you can look for technical indications to take a long setup. So looking at BitMEX, we are looking tentatively bullish, although we do have the number of limit sells coming back up, which doesn't surprise me. After a nice bullish pump like that, I would expect to see some consolidation, probably a liquidity grab and continuation to the upside. But we'll get into that when we do go to the technical analysis and look at the charts. Looking at Bitfinex, we do see the same thing, a little bit less skewed. We do see an increase right here, a very significant increase in limit buy orders, and now we're back down and pretty much at 50-50, which doesn't surprise me. Now, going into Coinbase, just to continue our analysis here, what does Coinbase tell us? Looking at Coinbase, again, the same thing. Pretty significant rise in the number of limit buy orders on the order books. We did have a stop loss hunt, which was what yesterday was. Again, that's exactly as I said in the members group. I expected to see a dump and then a pump, which is exactly what we did see happen. All right, that's pretty much all the fundamentals that I want to go over at this point in time. I do want to obviously take this opportunity to say that you guys should definitely go to crackingcryptocurrency.com and check out the new contributions to the blog by our contributors, guys. So blog on crackingcryptocurrency.com. And here we go. We do have a new article listed right here as well. If you guys are in the Discord or are not in the Discord, also Scott does post free trading, some of my free trade setups on the blog. He also posts my market updates and analysis on the blog as well. So if you guys are not in the Discord or are not Discord savvy, just keep your eyes on the blog. Although the stuff will be in the Discord first, it will find its way to the blog eventually. All right, so let's close this and let's get into the charts, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right, cool. Everything seems to be up and running. And let's go ahead and update the schedule. All right, we looked at BTC fundamentals as we do. We have requests for Engine Coin. We will look at Fetch. We'll look at BTC. And of course, we will look at ZERP. All right, so let's close that out. And let's start off by looking at the Tether Daily. All right, so let's look at BTC USDT on the daily. And let's get zoomed in here a little bit. All right, let's get rid of Ishimoku. And just take a look at what our critical levels of horizontal support and resistance are, guys. Okay, so as we talked about yesterday, whoa, don't want to move that. So as we talked about yesterday, okay, and as I spoke about in the members lounge, as I posted in my updates yesterday, which I don't think made their way to the free section of the Discord, and I apologize. Yesterday was a little bit of a rat race. I apologize. Let's see here. How bad is the lag? I hope the upstream isn't too bad, man. Hope the lag isn't too bad. Okay, so what did we see? We did see that price did a liquidity hunt to the downside, went just slightly below our previous liquidity grab. Just look at that. That's a beautiful SFP right there. Just went slightly below, tested the region of critical support right here around 3650, and then rebounded directly off of it. Now, the critical level on the chart is, of course, this previous level of horizontal resistance that was suppressing price. If you're looking for continuation to the upside, you do want to see price close above that region, all right? We want to see the daily close above this region. It's 3850. I would be okay if price closes in this consolidation region and consolidates in the area between 3840 and 3850. I'd be okay and comfortable with that. That is the area that I would like to see price, excuse me, not 38. Not 3840. 3800, really, I have it at 3806 on here, which if we go down to the lower time frame, so we can see what's kind of the consolidation area. This was also a take profit target to the upside, but I would expect to see price consolidate in this area before we have continuation to the upside. Again, nothing dramatically has changed. Nothing dramatically has changed. It's not yet time to get the moon boots out, guys. We did take Ethereum long to the upside. That was the trade that we took in the members group. Didn't take Litecoin. In fact, we were still in a Litecoin short, but we hit take profit 1, and as per the strategy, we would have had our stops at break even. So we made about 50%. We took about 50% of our position at take profit 1 and then back out with total profit on the trade at our entry. So not a bad trade. Same with XRPH19. We were actually in a positional short on that, hit take profit 1, and stop losses would now be a break even. So regardless of which way the position goes, profitable trade. We ended up, I guess the big winner obviously was what we took last night was we took VIB to the upside, hit take profit 1. That was kind of a buy the teeth trade. Pulled back 50% of the trade out at break even. Fetch AI, we took FET BTC to the upside again. Was able to get a very nice percentage off of that. And then Ethereum USD took that baby to the upside, entered at 126 to 127 was where our entry was posted, and was able to clear both take profit 1 and take profit 2. And now we're just going to analyze the markets. Now, I would expect to see continuation to the upside here. Why would I expect to see continuation to the upside? Because we have not really tapped into liquidity. Again, as I talked about yesterday, liquidity is going to be in two places. Liquidity is going to be at, well, let's actually go down to the BitMEX chart so we can see this a little clearer. The BitMEX chart, liquidity is going to be right here. Liquidity is going to be in the area between 3940 and 3970. All right, that's where liquidity is going to be. That's where you're going to have the most number of trapped buyers. Now, resistance would technically be around that $3880, $3900 level. All right, because that was previous support. Previous support becomes resistance. Now, we've tapped on the area once, we've tapped on the area twice now. Now, the reason that I don't see us directly rejecting from this zone is several reasons. We haven't tapped into liquidity that would be directly above this swing high, which would be right around 3,900. I would, if we had gone up there, if we had wicked up to that level and tapped into that liquidity, then I would be more biased at a movement to the downside. Alex Valiv, $2 donation. Thank you so much, sir. Wants me to take a look at XRPH19. I'll definitely take a look at Zertman. It is on the schedule. Thank you so much. Now, had we tapped into liquidity around 3,900, I'd be a little bit more indecisive about which way price was going to go. But since we did not, and since we didn't tap into the largest level of liquidity, in between that 3,930, 3,970 region, I feel very confident that we will see some continuation to the upside. Now, how steep will the decline be at this region? Really, what we're looking at here, again, looking at the hourly chart of BitMexico, what we can see is that we do have the point of control coming in around 3,800, 3,799. That is also the high volume node, previous consolidation area. Now we do have price after a nice liquidity grab to the downside. We do have price slightly above that area. What's interesting is that we didn't see a liquidity hunt on the level that we saw on the tether pairing. So I always look to the tether pairing to give me market directional. Okay, but you also want to look at the BitMEX chart when you're looking for liquidity grabs, because that's the more important region, because liquidity is really on BitMEX when you're looking for the way that the market is going to be moved. Tic Tac Crypto says, did you see that Princess Leia and Tyler made a bit on Twitter that BTC will go to 1,500 before 6,500 BTC in escrow? No, I didn't. And the reason why, sorry, so I don't like to cast shade or aspersion or say anything negative about any other streamer or YouTube performer, but this is a performance. But no, I don't put any stock in Elliott wave theory. I don't put any stock in hyperwave theory. I don't think that they're stupid or bad people or misleading or anything. But I don't think that they're traders. I don't think that they actually trade the markets. I've never seen Leia Wald. As much as I kind of I've watched a few of their videos, but I don't know what you guys. Here's the thing, man. When you're a trader, you don't really spend your time listening to what other people say. The reason why is because I've developed my strategy to be profitable. I didn't develop my strategy with direct input from anybody else. Of course, I took everything that I've learned, that I learned in equity, that I learned in Forex, came to cryptocurrency, and realized that that stuff doesn't work around here. Kicked that all out, spent days, weeks, months, honestly, years, refining my strategy, refining my indicators, refining my system, refining my discipline into how I enter and exit positions to be profitable. And that's all that matters. So I don't think, again, and I've said this many times on the stream, analysis is one thing, trading is completely different. Somebody can be a fantastic analyst and be a completely terrible trader, all right? Because trading revolves around if this, then that, logic and mental and emotional discipline. Analysis, all you have to do is say, hey, look, this line is here and that's probably significant. And look, oh my God, look at this volume spike right here. Something might portend. None of that really matters once you actually get into the market, put money into the market and get punched in the face a few times. So that's completely different. So anybody that says Bitcoin, and again, I say the same stuff. I'm like, hey, I have downside targets for Bitcoin. Should we break 3,000? I have upside targets, but you have to be very careful about the words that you use and the syntax that you use, because anytime you hear people say this will definitely happen because of this, or this will happen because of this, and this ABC triangle fractal over here will definitely lead to this, that's complete nonsense and rubbish, man. The reality of the fact is, nobody has a crystal ball, and trading is by definition calculated gambling. Okay. All I'm looking to do is stack the odds in my favor. I don't like to enter markets in high volatility. I don't like to take high risk trades. I like to take nice, calm, predictable setups in low volatility that have a high probability for success and that have a good risk to reward ratio. Okay. I am a reversal trader by nature. That's not to say that my strategy will not be able to catch trends, but the market conditions for cryptocurrency right now is not a trending condition right now. You're not catching large trends. I think that you are playing. It's much better to play the short-term movements at this point in time. So with that said, I don't think that there's. I mean, listen, guys. Everybody wants to tune into a YouTube channel and just have somebody explain to them, like, this is exactly what price is going to do. And that's not what we do around here. What we do around here is we talk about strategy, and we talk about technical setups, and we talk about technical analysis and proper trading discipline, which I think will help you in the long run become a better trader. I don't think that anything that I've seen on many other YouTube channels, and again, this is specifically like, and again, I'm not casting shade or aspersion. I think that they're good people. But I don't think that they're traders. I don't think that Tyler Jenks or Leah Wald trade cryptocurrency. I don't think that they do. I think that they do analysis. So I think that you have to take what anybody says who doesn't trade with a high grain of salt, because there's a difference between saying what everybody wants to hear and then saying stuff that I say, which is generally not what anybody wants to hear. So anyways. What are my thoughts about the MACD and ADX indicators? I think that ADX is generally terrible. MACD is okay. It's not horrible. But ADX is terrible. Nerd Robert, what's going on, man? Looking for a bottom. Still got some cash. Me too, man. Although I am comfortable with buying Bitcoin at these price levels. Dr. Faz, what's going on, my good dude? How many % of your portfolio in crypto would you put on longing BTC right now? Time period 3 to 5 days to place the upside. Where would your stop loss be? So I wouldn't necessarily long BTC right now unless I was going for a trending trade. So were I longing BTC to the upside right now? Let's take a look. Well, the daily Fisher is still below the zero line, so I would actually have to wait until the Fisher crosses the zero line. I could look at some other indicators, but I don't show those live on the stream, so I think that's inappropriate because I can't divulge all the secrets, guys. What we've got here is what I've done. What I try to display and show is a lot, but you have to keep in mind that some of my indicators and some of my strategies I've painstakingly developed over a very long period of time, and I don't necessarily display those live on the show. But what I can say is that the qualifications have not been met for me to take a trending long at this point in time. But were I to take a trending long, then my stop loss would most likely be, let's actually adjust this. So I'm going to have to actually wait for the candle to close. So had I entered into a long yesterday or toward the beginning of this open, my stop loss would actually be somewhere around 34.96 if I was going for a trending long, and I'd be looking to take profit at 41.01. Keep in mind that that number is congruent to this close at 36.98. Okay. So keep in mind that there we're talking about maybe 6% to the downside there, and we're looking for maybe 12 to 13% to the upside. So I do have to wait for the daily candle to close, and I could give a little bit more accurate representation, but I can look at ATR. So ATR 134.23. So should the daily candle close above 38.50, which is what I'd like to see, should the daily candle close above 38.50, then most likely, let's take 38.55 here, for example. My stop loss would most likely be 134 plus 70. So my stop loss would actually probably be about $200 would be a hard stop. So my stop loss would probably be somewhere around 36.50, and I'd be having a take profit target of initially at least 4,000. I would be looking for 4,000. But for me, that's not the setup that I'm going to take. For me, the setup for me is what happens when we reclaim liquidity here to the upside. Again, as I talked about kind of at length. So what I am keeping my eye on is not necessarily how price responds to this level of consolidation. What I'm keeping my eye on is how does price respond to the upper level of consolidation, which is right here. Now I've labeled it more clearly. This is the tether chart, but I've labeled it more clearly on the BitMEX chart. But the area to be watching on the tether chart is 39.70. I want to see how price corresponds to that zone right here, because this level right here is fraught with peril. The area between 3900 and 39.70 is fraught with peril. We have a lot of trapped buyers. Now, I do think that the initial retest of 39.70 and that level on the BitMEX chart is congruent right here. With, as I said, 39.40 to 39.70. That level is congruent with a lot of trap buyers. I think that that area is likely a sell on the first pass through, but should that level get sold into and then remain above 38.50, 3900, then I'll be fairly confident for price continuing to the upside. And when I say continuing to the upside, I'm looking at a long-term target of 4,500, 4,600, gentlemen. Now, I cannot tell you whether that's going to be a bull trap. Looking at the weekly chart of everything, looking at the weekly chart with everything, everybody is going to be screaming for 6,000 should we break above this consolidation period right here. I do think that 4,600 represents an extremely sticky area, okay? The reason why is because of a very simple concept of trading that's, let me point this out to you, gentlemen, horizontal support and resistance. Let's make sure the logarithmic scale's on. Horizontal support and resistance, gentlemen, when you have an area that is supply, so let's take a look here. The level of 4,600 right here corresponds to previous resistance on the weekly time scale, right? So we have price in an ascending fashion right here, finds resistance right here, finds resistance again, breaks through, is never retested as support. So this level we would expect to act as support. It's supply, or excuse me, it's demand. Now, let's fast forward a little bit in Bitcoin's price action. We end up crashing through that level and disrespecting it completely. Now, what happens what generally occurs when you see that phenomenon? You can use this concept on the hourly chart, on the 15-minute chart, on the daily chart, on the weekly chart. It's always the same in general. When you have an area of horizontal support or resistance that is supposed to act as an SR flip, whether that means that resistance that is broken through should act as support on the retest, and support that is broken through to the downside should act as resistance on the retest to the upside. When that doesn't happen, you don't throw the level out with the bathwater. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. What that means is that you expect that level to act its purpose on the next fly through. The reason why is because individuals who trade horizontal support and resistance, like myself, but who are not reactionary traders and are predictor traders, okay? So I'm talking about individuals that set blind limit orders in an area of critical horizontal support and resistance. I will sometimes do this, more rarely. I'm more of a reactionary trader. What is the best indicator according to you? So my best indicators are the ones that I've developed. I think time transformation is probably one of my best pieces of work that I'm comfortable sharing with the public. And when I say the public, I mean with subscribers to the premium trading group. I have other indicators that I use, and I think that is a very personal question that you're going to have to develop on your own, because I don't know what your strategy is. I don't know what your time frame is, but all I can say to you is that you're going to have to put in the work, man. There's no way to avoid it. If you want to have a good basket of indicators that you can look at to help you develop an if this then that strategy, you're going to have to put in hours and hours and days and weeks and possibly years of time, patience, and energy developing a strategy around it. Now, personally, I think that RSI, stochastic, MACD, ADX, everything that you're going to be taught in your traditional like Forex and equity market videos, I think that stuff is completely nonsense for the birds in cryptocurrency. I don't think it works. You'll never see me use RSI. I think that good indicators to use in cryptocurrency are going to be exponential moving averages, Ichimoku. Those are on the chart indicators. There's some pretty decent ones. Okay, so for example, I don't think ADX as it sits is a very good indicator, but if you throw a moving average on ADX, it doesn't become too bad. DMI is nonsense, in my personal opinion. It's just never worked for me. Looking at things like, and again, I tried, man. I've gone through the roster with everything, man. MACD isn't too bad. It's just a little slow. The Fisher transform, I think, is the best indicator that you're likely to get your hands on right now. Like, you can just go to TradingView and type in Fisher transform and get access to it. I think that's probably going to be your best bet, because it does trending, it does reversals, it does continuation trades, it does, it does everything that you want it to. Volume profile, session volume is fantastic. Lower time frames, things like VWAP, things like EMAs, I think work very, very well. Dun, 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 dun. James Richard Jones says, I'm psychic though. My fifth or maybe even my sixth sense works all the time. I just buy and sell higher. That's the strategy that works. Hell yeah, dude. I would not recommend RSI for divergence. That's probably the only way that I'd recommend RSI. But if you're using RSI for overbought or oversold, I think you're not gonna have a lot of success. And here's the thing. The times when they work, here's the thing, like RSI will work. There will be some times that things like RSI and stochastic and MACD and all that stuff will like call a trade beautifully. But if you develop that into a strategy and you actually start backtesting it, you will see that when you enter into areas of chop or when you enter into areas of trending, if you have a ranging strategy, you're just going to get tore up. And the reality is that if you just go ahead and implement that strategy and you trade your if this then that strategy utilizing things like RSI or MACD, that over time you're going to get absolutely chewed up and you're going to lose more money than you make. Because the goal here is to develop a strategy that you can just look to. And if your indicators or if your analysis says go long, you go long. And you set your stop loss where your stop loss is supposed to be based on ATR, and you're done. And you go play tennis. And you don't watch the markets. You go play tennis. Or handball. I like playing handball, but whatever. Because you are a human, you are prone to emotional mistakes, and actively monitoring a trade is going to give you the ability to do something stupid. And you are not smarter than a strategy that you can develop. And I know that sounds weird, but if you take the time to develop a strategy, you're going to be the strategy is going to be smarter than you if you've proven that your strategy is profitable with back testing and feature testing. So, Mike Holston says, price action is always the most important thing to look at. Indicators should only be used to help confirm your view after your analysis. I agree with that. I'm a price action trader, but I know many, many, many very profitable traders who don't look at price action and they only look at indicators. So I want to give indicators their due because again, price action, you're entering the realm of this can be subjective, okay? Because what's a liquidity grab? What's a stop loss hunt? Is this a liquidity grab? Is this a genuine downtrend? You can look at volume and other things to confirm that. And although I am a price action trader, but I think that in general, one should begin with something that is an if this then that strategy. And then as their skill increases, get into more advanced aspects of trading. Do I have a technical analysis course, man? I am, yes, it's not fully complete yet. So I have a webinar series that premium subscribers have access to. I'm working on adding to that as we continue to move forward. And eventually when that's all completely done, it will be a course. On what time frame works the Fisher good? On any time frame. But again, the higher your time frame, the better signals that you're going to get. Okay, so let's continue on with why I think that I just wanted to finish this point. So when you have an area that is supposed to act as supply or demand, so support or resistance, and it's blasted through, it typically acts as strong resistance or support on the next test of that resistance or support. The reason why is because you have predictor traders, so individuals who set blind limit orders at an area like 4,600 because they're looking at the weekly chart. See that this area should act as support. So, and you can even see if you go down to the daily chart, this is an area where you did see a lot of aggressive buying. So I would expect that there are trapped buyers here, at least on spot, and that area would act as resistance on the way through. Now, whether there's enough liquidity to blast through it, you have to wait and be a reactionary trader, of course. How much do I need to upgrade? How much do I need? So are you asking how much money I need to upgrade my stream? I definitely don't need money from you, man. Happy to take any donations that you want to give to support the cause, man. But there's technical issues that money will not solve at this point in time, right? You know, you have to remember that I live in an area where I'm safe from military intervention. to the best of my ability. I've done everything I can to create something sustainable where I live. So based on that, I don't have a lot of options for ISPs. I am working with my team to try to get that figured out, to run a fiber cable up here, but it's just gonna take time. The other aspect to increase the video element is we are going to be upgrading. We are going to be upgrading my box. So. Yeah, we're actually, you know, what's interesting is that we went on a big good streak where nothing was wrong with the stream. And Peter, you're relatively new to the stream. So we've just had a pretty bad month, and I think that's because we've had a lot of ice storms where I'm at. The ISP that I currently use, they don't use under the ground cables. They use over the ground steel plated or steel threaded cables. So, you know, you get a random squirrel or a chipmunk that chews through those cables, and we have upstream issues for weeks. Am I a terrorist or something? No, I just don't trust governments. Yes, I'm in the sticks. Okay, so anyways, from the weekly perspective, Bitcoin's price action does look pretty good. I do like the way that this is starting to shape up. We are holding the breakout of the symmetrical triangle well. I am cautious because, again, we've been in a bear market for a very long time, but I am beginning to get tentatively bullish. I am beginning to be tentatively optimistic, okay? But again, nothing really matters. Looking at the critical areas of the liquidity zone right here, that needs to be successfully reclaimed, and we need to hold that level and prove that the buyers are strong enough to overcome the trapped sellers of this area. And then should we get our nice selves above 39.50, 39.70 and be closing daily candles above that and get a little bit of consolidation above that level, I'm most likely, well, not most likely, I will be entering into a position along on Bitcoin. Right now, just playing Ethereum. Okay, so we've looked at BTC. We've looked at BTC fundamentals. Be careful entering into periods of high volatility. Let's go down and look at the 8-hour time frame just to get a kind of idea. All right, so coming back up to previous resistance, getting sold into currently not an area I would necessarily want to long. I would like to see some pullback, but again, your own strategy and gambling can be your own mindset. All right, looking at the hourly time frame, again, putting in this nice Darth Maul candle here on the hourly and now trying to reclaim that level. So what you would be watching for is how does price respond to 38.55. You could, by all rights, say if we get an hourly close above 38.55, look to take a long from here to here. You could look to take a long from 38.55 to 39.40. I'm not sure if the risk to reward ratio is there for me because it feels like you're stepping over dollars to pick up peanuts. You're looking for maybe 2% to the upside. And where would your risk level be? You would have to have your stop probably down here below, at least 1.22% below. So it seems like you have a 2 to 1% risk to reward ratio. But when you're just looking at XBT USD, it doesn't seem like the trade is necessarily worthwhile there for me. Looking at the hourly chart, you did have a nice call signal from time transformation, called the bottom right here, and told you to be out of the trade right there, giving you a nice trade right there. And again, able to manage your risk much nicer there on time transformation. If we look at what Quadrigo would have told us, where would we have set our stop loss at that point in time? 36.64 is where we would have set our stop loss entering on the close of this candle. So 36.64. So we were managing risk at about 1%, and beautiful. We would have never even came close to that area. We would have had a long take, on this candle, we would have had an initial take profit at 37.52. So from the close of this candle, 37.52 at about 1%, we would have taken profit off the table and adjusted our stop loss to break even. And then we did get the exit signal from the reversal right there. So again, depending on how you're looking at this, you don't have to blind trade the indicator. There's lots of strategies and ways to use time transformation. Generally, the way that I like to do it is if I believe that price is going to trend up based on where we've tapped into per liquidity, I will look to take profits on reversal indicators and adjust my stop loss up to a higher level. You're welcome to use the trending indicator of your choice. I have a trending indicator that I will not display on the stream that lets me know when to be out of a trade, but generally you can use something like Ishimoku should price close below the Kijun. You can also use something like CC EMA, which, if you guys are interested, I did just publish CC EMA publicly. So you guys are free to go check CCEMA out. It is now available for public use. It is an exponential moving averages script. You can use it on any time frame. I have it coded with the exponential moving averages that I like, which is the 8, the 21, the 55, the 100. Excuse me. So it comes standard with the 8, 13, 21, 55, 100, and 200 exponentials, and the 100 and 200 simple moving averages. It also has buy and sell signals right here. So whenever the 8 crosses the 13, it'll give you a buy or a sell. Be very careful using this in ranging markets because that's not the good time when you want to enter. When you're expecting a trend, and the way that you can kind of tell this is, have you had a steep movement down? You're expecting a steep movement back up. If you're sideways, you're not really looking to use that as an indicator, because you can see right here, when you use a strategy like that, you just get eaten up. But when you're going into a trend, it does work very nicely. So be cautious about how you use that. I've had some requests to make this like Hall moving averages and volume weighted moving averages. If I get enough requests for that, I'm fine with posting the update. One of the more powerful things about this is that you can use different time frames. So you can be looking at the hourly chart, and you can be looking at the daily moving averages, for example. All right. So it does have multi-time frame features. I think that's probably the most useful aspect of it. You can disable whatever you want in here. Typically when I'm using this, I'm just looking at this. And generally I have the 13 and the 100 and 200 simple moving averages disabled. If I'm looking at lower time frames, I only generally look at those when I'm looking at daily or weekly analysis, which I generally only do weekly analysis once a week. Dun, 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 dun. Good to hear that, man, Vatan. It's the best place to live, not in the... It's the best place to live, not surrounded by people. Quadrigo is now I'll be quite legitimate. Quadrigo was somebody helped me design Quadrigo, and I want to give very due credit to that individual. And again, I don't list you publicly on the stream because I know then you'd get inundated with development requests. But you know who you are, and thank you so much for all the help that you've done with me, man. Anyways, Quadrigo ATR is a modification of average true range that is adjustable and will tell you where you should set your stop loss and where you should set your take profit. And when you're setting your take profit, you're looking to take your first take profit is always you take anywhere from 25 to 50% of your position off the table, and you adjust your stop loss to break even. That's a very happy time, because once that happens, you've already won. You know that you can't lose money. And now the only question is, how much money will you make? All right. But you always take money off the table when you're in profit, when you reach a certain profit level, and move your stop up. Now, if you're doing this on the hourly chart, obviously this is all going to be based off volatility. So I like ATR. ATR is one of the if you're not using ATR, you need to put ATR on your chart right now. It's the single most useful indicator that you should always be looking at whenever you enter a trade. It's going to let you know how big of a position to take. It's going to let you know where to set your stop. It's going to let you know where you should be taking your initial take profit. And it's based off what's really going on in the market, not voodoo. So you don't like people, but you talk to 700 plus a day. Well, I feel like I talk at 700 plus people a day, but no, I love people, dude. I just want to be in an area where I feel safe, man. I love people, man. Like, you should see me when I go into town. Like, I talk to cashiers, I talk to random people on the streets. Like, I'm a very, very happy-go-lucky person, man. But I like living in an area where I know my family is physically safe. Okay, so I want to keep zooming right along here. Let's go look at ZERP. And then we'll look at... Actually, we need to look at Engine, I think would be fairer. Let's look at Engine first, and then we'll look at ZERP. So that would be a little bit fairer due to the levels of donations. Do I actually not feel safe? I thought America was chill. Yeah, America's a fantastic place to live, man. And I definitely feel safe overall. But it's more about planning for the long term. Like, what kind of place do I want to pass down to my children? Would I rather live in a place that I know that I own, I can build and improve on, that I want to pass down and leave as a legacy? Or do I want to live in some like ramshackle city? Like I'm just telling you, man, like should the worst case scenario happen, or should anything negative happen, like natural disaster, military intervention, war, famine, and, like alien invasion, the central bankers revealing themselves as the Illuminati lizard overlords that they are, anything like that happening, man, the worst place to be is a city. So, in general, no, I don't actually feel unsafe, but better safe than sorry, man. And I guess it's just how I was brought up, man. Mo people, mo problems. Johnny Boy Crypto, good to see you, man. Okay, so let's take a look at Engine Coin. The great FOMO of our time. Dear Lord, Engine continues to pump and pump and pump and pump and pump. Actually hitting that take profit target that we had actually talked about, I think the last time we looked at Engine Coin, 25.90, and clearing. So this is definitely an opportunity if you're in a trade. My stop loss would be at 25.90 right now. And you're just letting this thing ride, man. So let's go look at the daily chart and see how well we're trending. Yeah, the daily Fisher is going absolutely insane. Which will happen, man, because if you're using this for reversals, it's not going to work well in a trending environment. Same with EMAs. When you're looking at a trending environment, what you're going to be using is other aspects of the Fisher. So, for example, should the Fisher come down here below the overbought level, that would be an indication to exit. Again, I have other trending indicators, and when I feel comfortable, I might potentially share those in the order of importance. The premium members, and then potentially like with CC EMA, that's been available for a while, so that's now public. So you guys can go check that out. Just search TradingView scripts for CCEMA. But just in general, so let's look at something like Ishimoku. Let's look at something like Ishimoku, and to be conservative, it's telling you that you should not be out of your trade until price closes below 1826. I don't really like that. I think you're leaving a lot of profit off the table. So something that we can do is adjust this to 103060 and make it less conservative. We can make it more aggressive. That didn't really help us out whatsoever. Looking at the daily chart, we still have our Kijun-san very, very low below us, and we do have the cloud forming right here now around that 1860. So for me, my stop loss would most likely be at 26.50. Might kick you out of the trade too early. You could be a little bit more conservative and say 22.19. So Ichimoku has failed us. Let's try CC EMAs. Yeah, CC EMAs on the daily time frame is going to give us that same lagging. So let's try the 8-hour time frame and see what we can do with this. So 8-hour time frame, this is going to give us a little bit better indications. All right, so sorry that I have to keep adjusting this. We'll leave that on. And precision 8 and save as default. I have all this stuff done, but it seems like I constantly have to redo this. Again, TradingView is a wicked mistress. I'm not a fan. I pay these guys thousands of dollars, and I'm not a fan of their new updates. But maybe that's just me. Whatever. Here we go. All right. So on the 8-hour time frame, we do have our 21 EMA. Let's actually go over here and take a nice look. Or we have our 21 EMA coming in around 2101. So probably not a bad place to be out of the trade. Should we go below 2101? If you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, you might be using the 8 or the 13. So anywhere between 2326 and 2232. Which is pretty congruent with, let's see here, if we get nice and zoomed out. Yeah, here's the thing with Engine Coin, man. You just have to use some kind of trending indicator, man, because you have to use some kind of moving average. You have to use some kind, I think any kind of crossover right here, unless you're getting bearish divergence on the daily time frame. Looking at the 8-hour, we're not quite overbought yet, but we do have some significant bearish divergence coming in, man. But let's see here. We actually have, let's see here. So we're going to get, yeah, that doesn't even make sense. So we do have a lower high on Engine Coin right here. So yeah, the only thing that I can say about this, man, is we are close. Let's take a look. Let's take a gander here. Let's go back to the daily. All right, so we're not at all-time highs yet. So we're not at all-time highs yet. So the only way that you can provision this, man, the only way that this works is that you look to take profit. You look to take profit above previous swing highs and your all-time high. Okay, you look to take profit above that, and should that occur, man, but the best thing about this is that when you're in a trade like this, you just don't get out of the trade until your indicators tell you to be out of the trade. Anything, any potential take profit levels are just going to be for frames of reference, right? Like we talked about this yesterday. This was kind of what I pointed out. I said if 1942 acts as support, which it did, I believed that 2219 would act as resistance, which it did, and we've blown through that resistance and hit the take profit target of 2590, excuse me. So if you're looking for upside profit targets, the only thing that you can look at is take profit above previous swing highs, 2884, 3134, 3448. Continually adjust your stop, but right now I would have my eyes on the 8-hour chart. I would be using exponential moving averages. Again, if you guys have a better trending system than this, that's better, because this is not the best, but this will work. I would be on the 8-hour time frame, because I think that's going to give you the best lack of lag to risk to reward ratio, depending on where you entered. If you're entering here, then you definitely want to be using the 8. If you entered in down here, you definitely want to be using the 21. If you entered in up here, you might even want to be using something like the 3-hour time frame. So we go to the 3-hour time frame. We actually have our 21 coming in right around 2231. Okay, so pretty congruent with our 13 and our 8 on the 8-hour time frame. So that is the way that I would look at this. Or again, if you want to be very, very, very aggressive, again, like I said at the very beginning of talking about this, I would have had my stop, which we already hit it, man, around 26, around 2590. Most likely about to hit that right now. So I definitely lock in profits, wait for a pullback, and look to re-enter. That would be my personal strategy. But again, man, when you have something like this, when you have something that's just very, very, very bullish, you typically want to try and catch the trend. You had multiple opportunities to catch it anywhere around here, and you are in significant profits right now, and you don't want to throw that away, because nobody knows how high this thing is going to run. Nobody knows when this thing's going to turn around. You use a trending indicator to exit the trade. Ryan Atkins had said, dude, you are literally me, except I can't trade yet. That's good to hear, man. Don't I live in Wisconsin? Nope, not a cheesehead. Texas Blues says cities will get wrecked. Yes. The world central bank is worse than the governments. Yes, we've got it going, man. We've got the chat popping, man. Yes, they are lizards. Anarchy isn't the way forward. We've never progressed that way. Correct. I think that's a deep philosophical conversation to have, man. We've never had anarchy. We've never had a situation without rulers. Everything has always degenerated into rule by the strong. The point of technology, the reason why I'm so positive about technology and mankind's innovation, is that mankind is by nature not suited very well. Mankind is by nature primal, so we can use technology to overcome our inclinations toward suffering, I guess would be the easiest, way to say it. So mankind has an inclination to tend toward entropy because we're very self-centered individuals that rely on community. So it's very hard for us to progress and break out of that. That's the point of technology. So I think that we can use technology to advance to next levels of evolution, to social evolution, at least in that way. And I think that will encompass getting rid of a lot of government, getting rid of a lot of banking, getting rid of a lot of centralized control. Damn Anunnaki are everywhere. Interesting thoughts in the comment section, man. All right, it is 1:46. What time did I start the stream? Have I been doing this for an hour? I'd like to take a break and go grab some more water. So Eli, was that helpful for you, man? Is there any specific questions that you had about Engine Coin? I'd be happy to address any specific concerns. Kind of the same thing that we talked about yesterday, though, man. Like, you're just holding on for dear life, man. You had clear indications to exit the trade here if you had entered here. So, you got just using CCEMA. CCEMA told you to be in here, told you to be out right here. Although time transformation, again, you want to be taking profits on counter trend reversal signals with time transformation is the proper way to use this. And then here, where the Fisher either crosses underneath the overbought level, or here when it crosses underneath a zero line, is kind of your trending exit. Now, time transformation works very, 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 very well. There are slightly better options that I am working on. I'm working on making this a little bit better. But I think this is going to be the best thing that you can get your hands on. I don't think there's anything better than this on TradingView. So I'm going to take a brief break, ladies and gentlemen. And when I get back, we're going to look at ZERP, Ethereum, and Fetch.ai. All right. So don't go anywhere. And what do you guys think about Engine Coin? Think we're going to continue to pump? Think we're going to dump? It's all up to you guys. All up to you guys. J2, thanks so much for the sub on YouTube, man. Highly appreciate it, guys. So I'll be back in about 1 minute, guys. Don't go anywhere and keep the conversation going. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. And I see that, okay, so let me click this and let me click back here. And hopefully no, they still went away. Curses. What if I click on this? And then click back here. Darn it, they're still gone. They're still gone. I still have lost the view counters. Apologies for that. All right, let me roll up, man. Let me roll up. Thank you, Dr. Faz. Appreciate the likes, man. Did I already check icon? No, I did not. It only registers once. The 3 dislikes are the lizards. Robert Patrick says, I see Justin clicking on somewhere on the TradingView chart and it opens a panel. Is that part of the particular indicator? So I think what you're talking about is the data window right here. So on the right-hand side of your screen, I have it cropped so that you guys can see more of the screen here. But you will see icons to the right side in the TradingView panel. The top one is going to be the top one's going to be my watch list. This is this is my USDT watch list. This is my BitMEX watch list. This is my long terms, so things like longs versus shorts, total market cap, GBTC, the CME futures, the BLX index. You'll see my alerts right here, all my alerts that I have set. And then the third one down is going to be called the data window. And the data window will show you, open, high, low, close, change in percentages, your volume, and then any data for indicators that you have on your chart. So for example, this is how I look at Quadrigo. So Quadrigo's down here and it shows all the information that I want. I don't think you guys can actually see that because it seems like I have my screen cropped a little bit, but you can see what ATR is right here. You can see time transformation. You can see all the indicators for that. Again, I have my screen cropped a little bit, so you're not going to be able to see it fully, but getting below that, you've got your hot lists. Getting below that, you have your calendar. I've got my notifications. I see a lot of people liking the time transformation and CC EMA indicator. That's great, man. Hopefully you guys are finding a use for that. Then you've also got the social media aspect of it, your idea streams, your private chats, all that wonderful stuff that makes TradingView just a fantastic platform. Kyle Mitchell, good. Hey, what's going on, man? Jur says, do I use wicks or candle closes for Fibonacci retracements? And when do I draw a new one? After every new top, or can I keep one till it fully breaks out? That's the thing about Fibonacci. Fibonacci is generally a good strategy to use. It's not the best, but it's okay. It's pretty good. It can be very accurate when it works, and when it doesn't work very well. So, but the thing about Fibonacci is that there's so many different ways to use Fibonacci. So I like ICT's method of using Fibonacci retracements. So, for example, looking at equilibrium swings, so measuring from candle body close to wick of the lowest movement to candle body close, and then measuring a projection of that one to the upside. He relies also heavily along Dow theory, 50% retracements. I know another individual that's very good with Fibonacci, and that makes that comports a very strong aspect of his strategy, and he uses that same method as well as a few modifications. So I won't speak mega heavily upon that to protect his privacy and his trading strategy. But 618s, 786s tend to work very well. Also, again, so you can see that just for myself, like, Fibonacci is so darn subjective that I have ways that I use it. But looking at a fib retracement, for example, so let's measure. This would be ICT's method of looking at things. Like, so for example, from swing low to swing high, or from wick high to candle body close, looking for a retracement and then an equilibrium swing. That's ICT. Big ones right here would be doing all your normal retracements. And then I believe I also have it in here. No, that's not quite right. That's going to be what's his face. Yep, ICTs. And then another common way to do it too is when you're looking for take profit targets when you're above all-time highs, is to take a Fibonacci retracement and look at your 1.212, 1.414, your 1.618, your equilibrium swing as well. It's hard to tell people how to use Fibonacci or the right way to do it, because there's no right way to do it. You can ask 50,000 different people and they're going to tell you 50,000 different ways. All I can say is, as with all things, find something that you find works for you and that is fairly repeatable when you back test it in time. All right, cool. One good thing about cities is the food delivery. Yeah, food delivery and booze delivery if you've got Wink. Bat salad. I agree with you, Ricky. CryptoCred does have a pretty good video on Fibonacci. He's got pretty good videos everywhere. All right, let's get into... We've looked at Engine. We're going to look at ZERP. We'll start off by looking at ZERP Bitcoin. And just starting off on the weekly time frame, guys. So let's get rid of VPVR for just a brief second, and we'll also get rid of volume. All right, so looking at the weekly time frame, just looking at our critical levels of horizontal support and resistance, guys, still nothing's really changed with ZERP. Don't feel overly very bullish about it. Still, it's very hard to be bullish about ZERP until we're back above 85.50, as I've spoken about at length. This pink line right here is basically an invalidation zone. It would also act as a stop loss should you take the bullish trade to the upside. That level is coming around 82.88. All I really see right here, gentlemen, is on the weekly time frame a breakdown of support, which this level was. So that becomes an that becomes an initiation level now. All I see is a breakdown of support and a retest of support as resistance, guys. And now even on this current week, a retest of our weekly closes as resistance. So it doesn't really look overly fantastic. Further downside target 74.88, 63.82. I won't be bullish on XRP until we're able to close at least a daily above 85.50. There's just nothing to be done. There's nothing to be done. Looking at time transformation, we are entering into oversold territory. Doesn't really mean anything if we're going to trend. We do have a potential weekly crossover right here, so we don't have a weekly buy yet, and we will not actually because doesn't meet the qualifications of a buy signal by being above the oversold area. But as long as we're below the zero line as well, it's very difficult to be bullish. So horizontal support and resistance, I'm not really interested in taking a long trade until ZERP's back above 85.50. Not really interested in anything but continuing to take this to the downside. Looking to completely trade the trend. Now, what I would look for is to see the weekly or the daily come back up here closer to the zero line and give us another cross to the downside. Amo, I'm not going to try your last name, man. I'm sorry because I don't want to butcher it. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. I went over Bitcoin quite extensively. In the short term, I am expecting to see a little bit of consolidation at these price levels and then continuation to the upside. In the realm of looking at XBT USD, looking at the realm of 39.40, 39.70. If we can reclaim that level is a sell on the first pass. If we can reclaim that level, and so basically, if we put in something that looks like this, my good man. So here's what I'm expecting a little bit right now, a little bit of consolidation. I'd like to see a break to the upside, and then I'd like to see us hit this level. That will most likely be a sell. It is a sell. It is a sell right now. That level is a sell on the first pass through. So likely to see that followed by this. If that level holds, if 85.50 holds as support, or, we can even go slightly below, but as long as that level holds on daily closing basis and we get back above, now it's starting to look really whack-a-noodle. But what we need to see, so let's go ahead and delete that nonsense. Let's go ahead and delete that nonsense. This is not, in my opinion, the time to be putting on longs. We took ETH long from the bottom there around 126. Very happy with that level right now, so we're just going to hold on to that. But would I be entering a trade now? No, I wouldn't. It's because it's getting sold into as we speak, and a lot of just back and forth resistance. So I expect to see consolidation at this higher price level, and then I expect to see a test of this zone. That's going to be a sell on the first pass through. Should we reclaim that level, boom, and it holds as support, then I'll be very bullish, and I'll be looking to open up a long, probably to 4,500, 4,600, man. But I don't think there's anything to be done right now. You're entering into high volatility, which is flying to the danger zone. To the Bitcoin fund manager. If you guys haven't seen that Martini guy's video on Bitcoin fund manager, I highly recommend you guys go check that out. Anyways, let's get back into ZERP, man. Yeah, nothing to be done, man. Looking at the weekly time frame, this does not look good, dude. This doesn't look like a strong sign of a reversal. I see some test pumps right here, but just overall rejection from the zone. And we've just seen this with ZERP, man. Like over this last 2 months. Steady downcline, steady downcline, steady downcline, random pump out of nowhere, steady downcline, random pump out of nowhere, steady downcline, random pump out of nowhere, and then just getting sold into, man. And this weekly candle doesn't look any better, man. Now, again, we've got quite a bit of time for the weekly to do its thing, but I'm not interested in really taking a long trade on ZERP until it's back above 85.50. And really what I'd be looking for right now is a continuation trade. So a rejection from 85.50 and then further movement to the downside. 74.88, 63.82. Ammo, thanks so much for another $2, man. I highly appreciate that, man. Says, first time here and I love your style. Thanks so much, man. I highly appreciate that. Future book, man. Hey, you're welcome to say whatever you want, man. I'm totally cool with people being negative or not liking what I do. Of course you can. Just please watch your language, man. If you continue to curse or you know, use obscenity, I am going to kick you, man. But if you just want to call me stupid, that's totally cool, dude. Just refrain from the profanity, man. Okay, so having said that, let's look at some short-term trades for XRP H19. All right, so we do see the same thing here. All right, I tried, man. Thanks, Kyle. Good looking out, bro. I tried, man. Very willing to hear, you know, contrarian remarks. You know, you're totally welcome to come in here and call me stupid. I'm cool with that, man. But not necessarily cool with graphic profanity that might be distasteful to other viewers. Anyways, so moving on. XRP H19, again, weekly looks like crap. You could make an argument that, oh man, this looks really bullish, man. Look, we had this, look at your your invalidation level right here. Need a boot emoji. Dr. Fast. Thanks, man. I highly appreciate that, bro. You could make an argument that, hey, man, this looks really bullish. You know what I mean? Like, look, we're above the invalidation level at 8102. Yeah, but we're still underneath, you know, again, and this looks a little bit more chop suey than the XRP BTC chart. But essentially, look, the way that I look at this is two initiation levels right here. I would say that getting back above 83.55 on the BitMEX chart, you could potentially look to scale into a long. Getting back above 85.28, you can look to go a little bit more whole hog and adjust your stop loss as necessary. And we do have some upside targets here, man. 87.48, 85.56 is going to be some strong resistance. I think that's probably the most critical area on the chart to get over, man. Peter says, okay, I made some complaints with illustrations. Let's check it out, dude. I'll take a look. Is that your JT Supreme? Man, dude. Killing it, dude. I'm sorry you feel like pounding your head with a hammer, man. It will get better, bro. It will get better. But thank you so much for the illustrations, man. Sorry, Peter. I apologize, man. I am doing my best to make the stream better. Time and patience and energy. Okay, so let's go down and look at, actually, let's look at the 3-day. I'd like to look at the 3-day here on time transformation. Yeah, time transformation throwing up a lot of buy signals. Nothing that you want to pay attention to in a trending market. What you're keeping your eye on is the 0 line right here. 3-day unable to make it back above the 0 line. If we get back above the oversold level right here, potentially would be okay. And I think that would be congruent with the 3-day getting back above and closing above 83.55. Although these would have thrown up buy signals and you could have gotten yourself into a very profitable scalp. So I don't know what kind of profit target you're looking for on the 3-daily time frame, but 5% seems decent to me if you were just being realistic about things. So could have potentially given you some nice trades. Probably not, though, to be quite honest with you. So just being very blatant about limitations. Now, we do have something interesting here as well. We do have this descending trend line that I've drawn, that I've had on the chart for quite some time. And that's basically the long-term descending trend line from XRP H19. If we look at the daily, we actually see that we are testing that area again. So let's go ahead and extend this baby to the right. And let's make it a little thicker. There we go. So we're testing that baby again, and we just, listen, you know, ZERP, you've teased us so many times, man. You know, first test, second test, third test, fourth test, fifth test. You know, when's going to be my time, Lord? You know what I'm saying? Zuhair Nakvi asks, can you please recap how ATR is measured for setting stop loss or entry? Yeah, so in its simplest terms, and I recommend that you experiment and do what works best for you. But if you want a very, very, very simple answer, whenever you get an entry signal, that's not a reversal. This is going to be better for trending. If you get a trending entry indication, you're going to look at ATR and you're going to set your stop loss at 1.5 ATR. So whatever ATR is, pull up a calculator, type that in, times 1.5, set your stop loss there. Doesn't mean you have to wait until your stop loss hits. If you have an exit indicator, which you should have, if your exit indicator gives you gives you a signal to exit the trade, then you want to be out of the trade, which is why sometimes your stop loss will not always be hit. But if you don't get that indication, you just let the market do what it's going to do, man. Because the idea is that you have a profitable strategy over time. Doesn't really matter how one individual trade plays out. But generally look to set your stop loss at 1.5x ATR. Now the next part's optional. Typically, you're going to want to set your ultimate take profit at 3x ATR, but I find that setting your stop loss at 1x ATR, so 1 ATR above current price, is generally where you're going to want to take 50 to 30%. I like to take 50 initial profits off the table and set your stop loss at break even. And that's a very happy time when that happens, because that means we can't lose money. We've made money, we've cleared profit, and now the only question is how much money are we going to make? And you just let that ride. Then you set other take profit levels. You can use 1.5x ATR, 2x ATR, 3x ATR, and at those levels you look to take more profit and move your stop loss up and up and up and up and up. I'm not even in the secret cave. So anyways, yeah, so I will listen. I'll entertain this argument, right? This does not look too bad. ZERP doesn't look too bad. Why? Because we seem to have bottomed here on high volatility. We've made a higher low off the bottom, and now we're looking at consolidation near resistance. So this is typically the kind of price action setup that I would like to see a breakout. But with ZERP, it seems that we have such high upside targets. I mean, on the order of 17%. That I'm very comfortable waiting for a daily close of 83.55 before I even begin to look at entertaining a long trade. Let's go down and look at the 3-hour chart and see what we got going on here. Yeah, 3-hour chart, looking at time transformation, we're reaching overbought territory, getting a rejection from that resistance trend line as well. So a couple different ways to look at this, looking at the 3. Now, see, on the 3-hour, as a reversal indicator, time transformation does much better. So you can basically see, you know, if you combine this with Quadrigo, let's look at this bad boy. What would have been your stop loss on this entry? So long take profit would have been 83.20 on this bad boy. And did we hit 83.20? Yes, we did. We basically caught the exact top of that candle. Stop loss would have been at 80.60, so managing risk quite tightly. You never would have came even close to that. Same thing on this candle right here, would have been pretty much the same entries. Looking at this candle right here, we have a buy signal. Quadrigo tells us that our take profits is 84.60. Did we hit 84.60? No, we didn't quite hit 84.60. But that's going to be 3x ATR. So our initial take profit would have been 1 ATR, which would have been 105 sats. So 105 sats would have hit right here. We would have cleared 1.32% profit. That's unleveraged. So if you're using 10x leverage or whatever, again, leverage doesn't matter. Position size matters. I think you would have cleared some nice profits on that, because that's when you would have adjusted your stop loss to break even. Price would have likely hit 2x ATR, whatever take profit levels that you have. Here you have a clear indication to be out of the trade. Right, come on, work with me here. Here you have a clear indication to be out of the trade because time transformation crosses below the 0 line, meaning that your trend is now bearish. And so you would have been out of that trade at some nice profit there as well, which is pretty much your stop loss or your first take profit level right there. So time transformation doing some amazing yeoman's work, as always, on the 3-hour chart. Trading divergence and trading reversals on the 3-hour chart in general is going to suit you very well. Just make sure that you're using risk management, because it's not going to be right 100% of the time. Fisher is above 1 on the 4 hour. Is this a good indicator to look for long entries? No, because you're entering into overbought territory technically. I still think that based on price action, now is not the time when I want to be looking for a long position on really anything. This is a time to take profits from a reversal trade off the bottom and look for some low volatility consolidation to enter into. That is correct, Tudis. Yes. Links at the top of the screen. Premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. They get access to Quadriga. They get access to time transformation. They were receiving exclusive access to CC-EMA. That is now public. I'm going to make some adjustments. This is what I'm going to do. Since this is the request that I've gotten, I'm going to make some adjustments to CC-EMA and allow you to switch between simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, volume-weighted moving averages, Hall moving averages, TEMAs, triple exponential moving averages, feel like I'm forgetting a moving average, but I'll add all that optionality in there for all of them. So it's going to get a little complex, but I'll release that to the members first. MediaCom supporters replying to our tweet. That is awesome. I don't see it, so maybe I just got punked. I don't see them responding to our tweet, but that would be sweet. Oh, hey. Oh, I'll DM. They did respond. Here, let me DM this. So MediaCom support. I want to direct message them. I'm DMing them right now. Oh shoot. Okay, I'll do this after the stream because I don't want to screw it up and send them something. But yeah, I'll send them my account number and phone number. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for the viral support, man. Highly appreciated. ZERP H19, I don't see a trade on the table, man. I would not be eager to take this to the downside, to be quite honest. I'd like to wait for some confirmation. So getting back down below 8102, I'd enter into a positional short with some significant downside targets. But right now, we're just in a consolidation zone right now, man. I'd actually like to see a little bit of continuation. I want to take ZERP long, but again, just looking back at the BTC chart, nothing looks bullish about it, man. So I do have to wait until I get some clear signs about direction. So we just need to break resistance, and then we're ready to go. Or we break support, and down we go. Not really an area where I want to be doing anything. All right, so shoot. Okay, looking at Ethereum very quickly, and I do have to be going here pretty soon, guys. All right, looking at Ethereum quickly, here's the daily chart of Ethereum. Daily chart of Ethereum hit 2 out of 3 of my take profit targets to the upside. We do have a further take profit target sitting up here at 141.50. And again, the level that I'm keeping my eye on for continued bullish up movement for Ethereum. And why you might ask, why at 141.50? Because I'm targeting the liquidity grab. I think that's likely where price is going to go, as well as what should be previous resistance now, or current resistance right now, coming in around that 141 to 143 area. Looking at the USDT chart, again, we do have a significant amount of trapped buyers at 148.30. I'm more liberal with that level on the MEX chart, but the level that needs to be reclaimed for continued bullish upswing is 148.30 on the tether chart. If that happens, I'll be pretty bullish, man. I'll be actually looking for higher take profit targets. I'll plot those targets out when we get there. As you can see, I don't really have anything above 167, but ideally we'll be looking at these previous breakdown zones in the VPVR. So we can just take a glance at that real quick. Yeah. So essentially, I will be looking to take profits at, if we get above 148.30, I'll be entering into a positional long. I'll probably take 50% of my profit off the table around 167.32. And then I will let that baby run. most likely front running this high volume node and taking profits at these previous liquidity grabs, these previous liquidity pools around 188 and around 193. Because then we run this, and then we run smack dab into some pretty strong resistance, and we enter into consolidation at the HVN. Thanks, Peter. I highly appreciate that, man. Errol Suleiman, what's my thoughts on BNB USDT? I mean, it just continues to run, man. So yeah, you're just using trending indicators. You're buying pullbacks, and you're hoping that it continues to run, man. You don't trade against the trend. So let's see here. Let's slide on over to Ethereum USD on the BitMEX chart. Yeah, daily time frame give us a nice daily crossover right here on the daily time transformation. Confirmed crossover to the upside. I'm expecting to see consolidation right in the zone right here, and then a retest of the zone between, as I have it right here, 142 and 144. I think that's going to be the sell on the initial pass through. I'd like to see again the higher support hold at 137.55, and then I'd like to see us reclaim 147.62. Should we do that? Again, positional long. Should we reject from this area and this support doesn't hold, then positional short. So right now, again, just looking to ride my long. Already took profits at 2 profit target areas. I expect that we will eventually go higher and hit my highest take profit area, and then I will most likely. I'm not going to be blind selling into this area. This is really an area. This is really an area in price action, guys, where you just got to wait because we're about to have indication of a big move up or a big move down. And so you don't want to be on the wrong side of that trade, man. You just wait for confirmation and take the trade because there's such lucrative downside targets and such lucrative upside targets that patience in this area where most people are getting wrecked left and right, man. Most people are like FOMOing in to get into these trades. Most people were FOMOing to get into the short, man. Just not the right thing that you want to be doing, man. Patience, concentration, and discipline. Yeah, AJV, many times. We're working on doing that a little bit better because there's so many things that can go wrong with Profit Trailer, man. There's so many things that can go wrong with automating a strategy. So that's all stuff that we've been working on. That's actually one of the things that I'm mainly working on is developing something that can be automated better. But I do think that in general, you're going to have better success trading on higher time frames and using a strategy, using a system that is composed of indicators. Automating it necessarily can be risky. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. For example, I've experimented different bots. It seems like they all work really well, but then you flip them on, and I can generally get better results. Manually trading. But that's just me. There is something to be said for using. There's definitely something to be said for using systems that can help supplement your trading. Trailing stop losses, trailing offsets, automatic stop losses, things of that nature. But features like automatic dollar cost averaging and things of that nature, I think, tend to not work as well. They can work really well, but discretionary, 100%. Hashtag discretionary. All right, so we've looked at Ethereum, basically the same thing as BTC, but just different numbers and more volatile. Again, I do, just to be very, very upfront, I do have an Ethereum USD long opened up. I've already taken 80% of my position off the table, have about 20% of it left. And that's about it. Okay, so and then brief update. I still have 15% of my XBT USD short open from 41.14. So I had taken a couple long positions at the wrong period in time. Ended up exiting those at about a 1% loss. Actually, I exited XBT M19 at a profit, so that's good. And then XBT USD still about 15% of my short position left open. I've already taken most of my profits. So should we get back above this level and reclaim, then I'll be exiting that position in profit. Should we reject from this level and start heading back down below supports and crashing out, then that will be an invalidation of this uptrend, and I will be looking to be in a positional short, most likely on Ethereum, most likely not on Bitcoin. Ethereum's more bang for your buck. So, and it's going to head in the same direction. So with that being said, last thing we're going to take a look at is Fetch AI. We took a Fetch AI trade last night that was quite profitable. And I'll show you guys what was the indication for that trade. Let me pull open the... I'm going to pull open our premium signals channel in the members lounge, and I just want to look very clearly. Oh, I posted it in the, this was a free signal as well. So I posted this last night at 12:34 a.m. Here we go, 12:34 a.m. I called for an entry between 84 and 8,500 on the next candle. So between midnight and 1 o'clock, price pulled back and allowed you to get in at the absolute lowest price or anywhere in between. Call for take profit targets of 87.80, 90.50, and 9,300. Didn't quite hit 9,300, but we did hit 90.50 quite nicely. Pretty much caught the top of that. And then price would have been stopped out at take profit 1, because that's what happens. When we hit take profit 2, stop loss goes to take profit 1. When we hit take profit 1, stop loss goes to break even. So good trade on that. Was able to catch this nice little swing for a nice cool about 7%. Looking at Fetch AI right now, pulled back down to support, putting in a nice little hourly hammer candle right here. Let's go look at the daily. Not going to help us out. Daily looks like shit. 8-hour chart. I don't really like the sideways consolidation, man. Generally, when I see that, it's continuation to the downside. Looking at the 3-hour, I don't see a potential trade on the table yet. Time transformation would have burned us on this one. Time transformation did very well on this, and I don't think DCAing would have helped us get out because it doesn't seem the risk to reward was there after pulling down about 8%. Would have only given us back out at about 50% profit, but whatever. I wouldn't be surprised to see price go slightly below this low and then move on up to the upside. I think that Fetch AI still has some gas in the tank, but I'm not going to bet on it yet. I'm going to wait for some bullish confirmations before I take another position on it. We do got another launch pad coming up here in a little bit, guys, so we'll probably do the exact same with that. But for that one, I'm definitely going to wait. Market bought this right out the gate. I got it at 92.03, so I guess that's because I was a little slow with the trigger. Those who were very quick with the trigger would have ended up buying at a higher price. I was able to make about 20% off my position. Da Vinci, again, shout out to Da Vinci. He called the top on this baby beautifully, guys. And he does have his own, if you guys are in the Discord, Da Vinci and Fibonacci all have their own channels in the general chat. So if you guys want to see what some of our analysts are doing and trading along with, you guys can follow along with their trades. Yeah, they've been murdering it, man. So, with that being said, Tuda says, I have a question regarding huge buy walls coming up out of nowhere. They're to dissuade buyers, man. They're to dissuade buyers or sellers. In this case, a 200,000 XRP buy wall came up when price was attempting to go down. Is this a trap? It's impossible to tell, man. Order walls in cryptocurrency are not a huge way to base your trades off of anything, man. What you want to be basing your trade, I mean, if it's a legitimate buy wall, it's not going to get eaten into because the real orders are going to be front running it. So, I don't think that order flow analysis is the correct way to trade cryptocurrency because there's not enough liquidity. There's just not. I think that reactionary momentum trading is the correct way to trade cryptocurrency, and that's why I'm a reversal trader. Again, if a wall is legitimate, it's going to get front run. So you're kind of not looking at the wall; you're looking at what's happening directly above the wall. But again, I'm not an order flow trader, so. Right in the Discord, Vitam. Uh, 420 TV. Oh, that's clever, man. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. Bobby Crypto says, remember at one time Da Vinci said it was a bull trap and he got wrecked. It went up. I mean, are you talking about Da Vinci that posts in our well, first off, just let me answer that in any way. Like, yeah, so sometimes guess what? Sometimes people can be wrong. I don't know if you're talking about a lot of people ask that. Like, we have an analyst that's named Da Vinci, and then there's Da Vinci J15, which is like the crypto oracle. That's not our guy. So just making sure you guys are fully aware of that. But yeah, sometimes we're going to be wrong. I'm wrong too sometimes. It happens. What matters is being a profitable trader overall, which if you look at any of our analysts or traders back tests, quite profitable, man. Correct. I do use Fit. Yeah, I don't. Yep, not talking about the Oracle Da Vinci. Not the guy, dude. Not the guy, Bobby. Bitcoin is ranging around the weekly 233 EMA during months already. Do you use Fib EMAs? Yes, but I don't use 233 or 188 or the 88. I use for Fib EMAs, I use the lower settings. So 8, 13, 21, 55, and then I use the traditionals, hundreds and 200s. Because I think that they're going to be better, man. Tudis, premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Dun, dun, dun. Thoughts on lumens? Ooh, looks pretty good, man. Vieira gave you the nice buy signal right here, gave you the sell signal up here. Where did it tell you to buy? Pretty much nowhere from there. Coming up to resistance around 878, so about 8.78 cents. Not looking too bad, man. You would have got your indication to buy a trending right here. And let's look at where your stop loss would be. So you got the indication to go long trending right here. And your stop loss would be at 802.9104. So down here, pretty wide stop loss. Yeah, about 5%. And let's see, your initial take profit would be 8.8. So pretty high, pretty high. So it's about 1 to 1. 1 to 1 on that bad boy, because it must be going from here. Oh, right. Okay, my bad, because it's going off this candle. So really what we want is we want to look at this one. I apologize. We want to be looking at this candle. This candle right here. Long stops would be 818. So from the close of this candle would be 818, about the same thing. And long take profit 89. So pretty high, pretty high. Doesn't look too bad, man. I would probably throw on, let's look at the daily. All right, daily doesn't look too bad, man. We have this long-term descending trend line for XLM USDT. We broke below it on some pretty high volatility, consolidated, and now we are seeing a potential holding of that resistance trend line as support. Now, I don't put excessive weight on diagonals, but I do put some weight on them. I think the important level for me is to see if the daily can close above 8.78 cents, that resistance level I was talking about, because that would be a clearing of this level right here and a pretty strong indication for me to have a position in XLM USDT. Looking at the Fisher, we're going to be crossing the 0 line here pretty soon. Should that happen, I think that's probably going to correspond with opening and closing above resistance right there. Now, that's nothing to get overly excited about, because we do have some pretty significant resistance until we're in what I'd like to call like, hey, man, let's go. That level for me is going to be this area right here, which is acting as pretty significant resistance. We've got a 3% zone of contention right here. But I mean, if you want to be a little risky, I don't see anything wrong. Like, let's go look at the 8-hour, which is actually what I base most of my momentum trades off of. We got a continuation short signal right here. We do have the Fisher crossing below 0, but it's very difficult to be overly optimistic until we're above 0. So I think I'd probably wait. I would probably wait for us to close at least the 8-hour or the 3-hour above 8.78. Then you could probably look to take a scalp up here to 917 and potentially 945, which seems like a juicy trade, and you could probably manage risk right below here. Or just, a 3-hour or an 8-hour candle closing below what should be support now. Now, it's okay if it wicks down below. That's why I don't use static stops. But that would be a reclamation of previous support. So you can see support, turn resistance. We'd like to see that level turn into support again, and then move to the upside. But this could also just end up being a lower high and a rejection. So pretty risky, man. Pretty risky to enter now. I think you're much safer waiting for the nice getting above 8.78 cents. And then looking at 0.91, or excuse me, 9.1, 9.45. Cameron Green says, hey, I'm a new trader. I bought Bitcoin at 3,800. I'm like 1 to 2% increase. Is this a good target for beginners? Yeah, man. Yeah, 1 to 2%. 1 to 2% trades are fantastic, dude. Just focus on don't let the casino effect hit you. You know, like when you go to the casino and you hit the jackpot on your first spin, it can be really bad, man. Because if you didn't have any kind of strategy or system as to why you bought or as to why you're going to sell and take a profit, that's really not going to set you up for the long term. So just make sure that you're taking the time and patience to develop a profitable strategy, which is the most important thing. This is a long game, not a short game. Static stops, this is the same thing as a hard stop, Bad Andy. I don't use hard stop losses. I use mental stop losses. Okay. And we'll look at LTC because everybody is like really, really excited about Litecoin. All right, so looking at the 8-hour time frame right here, LTC kind of leading the charge and getting nicely above resistance right here and getting sold into pretty hard. Actually hitting my first upside take profit target here at 0.014. We do have a higher upside target at 0.0148 and then resistance coming in at 0.154. So this is definitely an area where I'd like to see a pullback. What's interesting to see is that on this pump, obviously pushing the 8-hour fissure above the zero line. Now that's going to be thrown off because of the magnitude, just the magnum phallus of this massive movement right here. But ideally, I'd like to see a little bit. Any hoosers. That was Mediacom calling. Believe it or not, that was Mediacom calling. But it was just automated, so I hung up on him. I'll call him back after the stream. Justin, come back. Baby, come back. No, I gotta be going, man. Starving. I gotta go eat some lunch, come back in, and develop a battle plan for which way I want to go. But, you know, that's like the point, guys. Like, I'm just trying to tell you, like, there are periods of low volatility and clear signs for entry, right? That time was last night. That's why we went long on Ethereum, okay? There were clear signs for short trades. That's why we were, as of 2 days ago, short on Ripple and Litecoin. Profited on those trades to the downside. I saw clear indications to take Fetch AI and VIB to the upside yesterday. And then there are times where you're like, wow, man, entering in these current market conditions is more likely than not to get me wrecked. And I'd just rather sit here and bank my wins and be happy with my increased account and wait for the next opportunity to enter into a position. Market tops and tests of resistance are not good places to enter. So for LTC, definitely be waiting for a pullback. This does look pretty gosh darn bullish to me. Doesn't seem like a clear liquidity grab whatsoever. I mean, just looks really nice. I'm not going to lie. Litecoin looks freaking nice, dude. I'd like to see a pullback to retest this zone, to retest the zone of around 0.013 as support. And I'd like to see us take off from there, man. We do have further upside targets of 0.0148, and we have resistance of 0.0154. Getting above 0.0154, I mean, we're talking about not blue sky breakout, but pretty gosh damn darn bullish. Now, something to keep in mind on the weekly time frame, we are entering our first oversold, our first overbought warning right here. So the weekly is getting overbought for the first period in time. We didn't have that here. We didn't have that here. Now, that doesn't mean anything when we're trending very strongly. So if we go to the weekly time frame, let's throw on Ichimoku. And again, I have aggressive Ichimoku on. So we're actually looking potentially to get... I don't really like how everything's freaking opaque, dude. I don't know what I did to my settings to make things like so opaque. That's a little too much. But some setting that I must have set for Ichimoku. Anyway, so we potentially do almost have a weekly cloud breakout. Now, the future cloud is very bearish, but we have a nice twist here on the cloud, which is bullish, okay? And all we need to do is get price above the cloud right here. We need to close the weekly above this level, which would be quite bullish. And I think we're going to hit 0.014 again, 0.0148 again. So it's pretty simple, man. Price above 0.013 on a daily closing basis, ideally a weekly closing basis, looks pretty goddamn bullish, man. Price getting below this area, we're correcting, and we're not bullish until price comes back down here to support. This level's already been tapped once, could be tapped a few more times. I'm comfortable with that. Let's go look at the daily. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, man. When you have support, I mean, this is a nice W double bottom, right? But again, I don't trade chart patterns, but this would have kind of faked you out, man, because you do have a lower high on the daily, but then you have this, and you don't know that this is going to be a lower high, because then it just pumps right off from that, man. But just a pattern to watch out for on lower time frames. Let's see if the 8 hour would have caught it, man. 8 hour would have caught it pretty decent, man. 8 hour Ichimoku would have caught it very nicely as well. Because you have that nice W bottom, you pull back, you consolidate at a higher level, right at the top of the cloud in the Kijun, and then pop. Again, that's not predictable. That's not really something that you can base a strategy off of, but you can be buying pullbacks to the Kijun. That's conservative pullbacks. You can buy aggressive pullbacks to the Tenkan-san. That's aggressive pullbacks. So. Yeah, Tudis, man. I'd be happy to help you out, man. Let me get done with the stream and grab a little bit of a bite to eat, and I'll be in the general chat. No. So, Cameron, the Discord's free to join, but if you're a premium subscriber, you get access to more. You get access to all my trade signals and setups. So we got a really poppin' general Discord, man, just for the community. Discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. I think we should put that link right above my head. That would be a good one. Will I show you the RSI on Litecoin? I don't think the RSI means anything, but I suppose we can. Let's look at the relative poop index. Can I see Litecoin USD 22 to 25 bucks in the next 2 weeks? Yeah, let's look at the tether. No, I don't really foresee that all the way down in the next 2 weeks. Not unless the entire market tanks. Not unless the entire market tanks. Now, the only way that this doesn't work out well is if this is an SFP, because we do, looking at the USD chart, it's different from the Bitcoin chart, but looking at the USDT chart, we do have a high, and we do go slightly above that high below resistance, okay? So, don't get your dancing shoes on yet if you're looking to trade the USD chart. But again, you can't really call this thing bearish, man, until we get some kind of bearish indication trend, man. Looking at, let's look at this RSI. So you would have had bearish divergence right here. What are the odds that you entered the trade there? You really wouldn't have known that that was bearish. I mean, just look how fast that RSI moves. That's why this thing is garbage. Yeah, it tells you get bearish divergence right there. Let's see here. And you would have... Okay, so let's just talk about why the RSI sucks. Okay. Because the way that this is supposed to be traded is when the RSI goes overbought and then goes underneath 70, you enter. So that doesn't happen until this right here. So you're supposed to enter on candle closes, and this is telling you to go short. Okay, well, you might have gotten out with 6% profit. Again, this is Litecoin, so you can't short Litecoin USDT, but it's talking about this in reality. And then price just explodes in your face. So if you were shorting that, for example, I'm just telling you, not a good entry. Here you have it again. Tells you to go short here on this candle, and price immediately moves up. Tells you to go short right here. Price immediately probably hits your stop loss, I'm sure. You get bearish divergence here, but you don't have that confirmed until here. So you don't have that bearish divergence confirmed until here. By the time it's already played out and it's absolutely useless, right? So that would have not helped you get on that big candle whatsoever. And then you don't really have any indication to go long off this thing whatsoever, which this is the best time to go long. So, garbage. Now, if you look at time transformation, This did tell you bearish divergence on the candle beforehand because it goes off the candle close. Hidden bullish divergence here. Hidden bullish divergence here. RSI is garbage, man. Sorry. But looking at the daily time transformation, yeah, we're actually on this candle. This candle close will confirm a trending buy on time transformation. Now, I'd like to see. So if this level holds right here, that would be really bullish. If this level holds right there, that'd be kind of bullish. If this level breaks, that'll be pretty bearish, man. I think we'll probably be heading back down. But you got to give it the benefit of the due, man. We haven't seen trending trades on Litecoin for a while, man. Although you would have gotten your indication to initially go long on Litecoin right here, right on this daily candle right here. And you didn't have any indication to be out until maybe there if you're using that as an exit indicator. And then entry into a long here. You get a continuation trade right there. So you rebuy. And you're not out of the long trade until here. And now you're getting a signal to potentially get back in. But looking at LTC USDT, we are still underneath long-term resistance, the breakdown zone right here, as confirmed by the VPVR. But getting above this bad boy, man, we got some nice upside targets, dude. 56.88, 61.86, 65.67, and 69.45. So don't get your dancing shoes on yet, man. But I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't look too bad. Could turn to shit. Doesn't look too bad right now. Satoshi Nakafomo, good to see you, man. Please talk about Tron and Tether moving over. I'm not really an expert in that field, man. Litecoin. All right, guys. Well, listen, guys, I gotta go, man. I know that we did a lot on today's show. We talked about Bitcoin fundamentals. We talked about Bitcoin. We looked at Engine Coin, ZERP, Ethereum, Fetch AI. We looked at Litecoin. I think we looked at some other stuff too, man. We looked at a lot of stuff. Overall, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty bullish. Not any area on anything where I want to enter into a position right now. I think we're gonna see some consolidation. Let's go down to the 3-hour chart on our MEX pairs. I think we're going to see some consolidation and some continuation to the upside. I could be absolutely wrong. I might be missing the best opportunity to get into a short, but I'm not going to be so eager to consider this a liquidity grab just yet, guys. So plenty of time. Again, I've talked about this before. The downside targets for Ethereum and Bitcoin are so lucrative that you can definitely wait for some higher time frame confirmation. Right now, I don't have any of that. In fact, what I do see is support held and looking to break the resistance. Currently, resistance holding. That's why I'd like to see consolidation at these higher levels. And then I'd like to look to continue the long position to the upside. So currently not necessarily. What's up with BitMEX's new policy? They're just hammering down more and more and more. So make sure that your VPS never goes off. Or your VPN, sorry. Yeah, so just be careful out there, guys. Entering into high volatility, low volatility precedes and follows high volatility. And that's where you want to be entering into the market. Periods of low volatility where you can actually have good risk management. Entering into high volatility is a good way to get your face melted off. So that's about all I've got, guys. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to help out, and please tweet out at MediaCom support to fix my gosh darn to fix my internet. You can just use my name, Justin Wise, and they'll know who you're talking about. Or you can reference at cracking_crypto on Twitter. If we could get that viral campaign going, that would be awesome to improve the quality of the stream, because this shit will not stand. All right, guys, so that's about all I've got. So let's do the end of the show regular stuff, guys. Let's head on over here. Again, I just want to announce the winners again for the X42 Masternode giveaway. And I'm going to display them here one more time. Boom, 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 boom. Bogdan Z, Edward W, Peanuthead, Anna B, and Jonathan K, guys. So if that is you, please send us an email at contact@krakencryptocurrency.com or hit us up in the Discord with a DM. Send us a screenshot to prove that you are who you say you are, and we will verify that. And we need your X42 wallet address, and we will get you your X42 sent out to you guys, enough to run your own Masternode. that's about it, guys. Make sure you head on over to the blog at krakencryptocurrency.com and check out the new contributions. They're pretty good, man. I'm not going to lie. They're really, really good. This is the latest article from yesterday as Facebook held discussions with crypto exchanges to list native coin. So we'll do a deeper dive into that or any new articles that come out, guys. But these are good, man. These are good articles. That's about all I got, guys. If you guys would like to trade along with us, man, make sure to check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com, and you can see all that we have to offer. Trading services, premium trading group, premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. You can see all that we have to offer. Let's see here. Make sure you guys check out the Discord, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com, to join the free community. If this is your first time here and you like the show, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, thumbs up, come on over to Twitch, give us some support over there. If you guys are showing some sub love, man, give us a follow or a follow or a subscription on Twitch. We highly appreciate the support. And you can also pick up some sweet merch, man. Again, I have heard scientists have told me that that's cold. That drinking your morning coffee, the Kraken Cryptocurrency HODL mug, will improve the success of your trading by 85% and increase your personal attractiveness by 95%. Confidence, 96%, guys. So that's scientific facts. You just can't argue with them, guys. So please go check that out. We do appreciate the support. If you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, opinions, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below so I can respond to them with the appropriate canon. Or guys, please come on over into the Discord.krakencryptocurrency.com and keep the conversation going. And I think the question for today, guys, to keep the conversation going is, what do you guys think, man? Are we on the verge of a nice bullish run? Is this the opportune time to be entering into shorts? Are we gonna miss it, man? Or are we going on a nice little bullish run right here? And this is the first inkling and the first sign of it. I want to know what your guys' opinion are. Leave them in the comment section. Come into the Discord and let us know, guys. Happy to continue the conversation on with you guys. And as always, I've been Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at Kraken Cryptocurrency, for another episode on this lovely day, March 5th, Tuesday. Another episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Hopefully I've helped crack cryptocurrency for you. And until tomorrow, guys, as always, trade safely. I'll see you tomorrow.